Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. So this is the third of 5 intro packs from Dragon's Maze. This one is the blue-green Simic Domination pack. So it will be interesting to see where they go with this. If they're choosing to go around the evolve route, it'd be interesting to see what creatures they brought in from the previous sets, because I didn't see many creatures specifically with evolve on them in the Dragon's Maze set. Anyway, so let's open this up. Have a quick look at how you're supposed to play the deck itself, and then crack the two boosters. Okay, so have a quick look at the deck. Okay, so here's a section in here on Simic. So again, it's got 4 guild gates, not surprisingly Simic guild gates, 10 forests, 12 islands, 22 creatures and 12 other spells. And so, yeah, creatures with the evolve mechanic get +1/+1 counter whenever a larger creature enters the battlefield. So I'm expecting to see quite a few evolve creatures in here. It also mentions flying creatures. So it'd be interesting to see whether, I think it's Cloudfin Raptor is in here. And also looks like we've got +1/+1 counter manipulation as well here, and a split card in the deck. So it's suggesting ways of changing out the deck. So it's suggesting Master Biomancer from Gatecrash, and once again, this is a popular idea with Simic, is to use undying creatures from Dark Ascension and Avacyn Restored. Okay, so now let's open up this pack. You'll see that on the top of the deck we have Voral of the Hull Clade. So that's the Simic legendary creature in this particular set in Dragon's Maze. 1 green blue. As with all these decks, this key card is a foil. So for 1 green blue you get a 1/4. It's a legendary creature, human merfolk, Voral of the Hull Clade. And for green and a blue, tap it. For each counter on target artifact, creature or land, put another of those counters on that permanent. And no surprise to find Cloudfin Raptor in here. It says evolve on it. It's a 0/1. So there's obviously going to be a lot of creatures that could potentially trigger the evolve on this when it's first in the battlefield. Cloudfin Raptor, another one there. So with this evolve trigger, just to clarify, if a creature has an evolve ability on it, what it means is whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So that's how the evolve works. You can see we've got a Gaia Sage with evolve. Murmuring Phantasm, it's a defender, 0/5. Performed much the same job as I think Kraken Hatchling, which was in the previous Simic deck, although that doesn't have defender on it. But it's got a, as with Murmuring Phantasm, has a very large toughness, so that's going to help trigger evolve. Battering Crisis, another evolved creature, 2 of those. Centaur Courser. No ability on that, so just a 3/3 for 2 and a green. 3 of those. Croconura, it's a 1/3 creature with evolve and reach. Beetleform Mage. It's a pumpable creature. And there's 2 of those. Elusive Crisis, unblockable creature with evolve. There's 2 of those. Crowned Ceratoc. So several of these creatures here that don't have evolve on them also have some sort of pumping, or this one here takes into account if a creature has +1/+1 counter on it, gives it trample. Opal Lake Gatekeepers, this is part of the Gatekeeper cycle. There's 2 of those. If you control 2 or more gates, you can draw a card. Species Gorger. So I've got a bounce ability on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. 2 of those. Sapphire Drakes. Got flying, and each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has flying. So when that comes into play, all of your creatures that have evolved with +1/+1 counters on them suddenly have flying. Archweaver, it's got reach and trample. Then we move on to our 4 Simic Guild gates. So these are going to help fix for green and blue. And then our forest, and you can see the artwork there once again is from Return to Ravnica. And in our islands. Okay, so with the mana base out the way, we now move on to our support cards, our non-creature cards. Got Mutant's Prey. So target creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it fights target creature an opponent controls. And there are 2 of those. Got Fighter Blast, pump spell, gives a target creature +5/+5 for 1 and a green until end of turn. Runner's Bane. You get to enchant a creature with power 3 or less. When Runner's Bane enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, so that locks creatures down. There's 2 of those. We've got a Simic Clue Stone. So this is a fixer for green and blue, but you can also, if you don't need it, pay green and a blue and then sacrifice it and draw a card to replace it. Hinder Vines. Use this to prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn by creatures with no +1/+1 counters on them. Bread for the Hunts. Another card with +1/+1 references on it. So whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. There's 2 of those. Crisis Incubation. So this one's interesting because you can use it to lock down a creature. So you can enchant a creature, enchanted creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. But for 1 green and a blue, you can return Crisis Incubation to its owner's hand and put 2 +1/+1 counters on enchanted creature. And then we've got Give and Take. So this is our fuse card in this deck. So Give, which is 2 and a green, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature, so no surprise there in the Simic deck. And Take, 2 and a blue, remove all +1/+1 counters from target creature you control and draw that many cards. And obviously for 4 colourless green blue, you get to do both sides of the card. So then we have the deck. It's going to be interesting to see, like I said, with not many evolved creatures in Dragon's Maze, or not as many as in the previous set, what we actually get here. We're obviously looking for green or blue cards or colourless, and anything that obviously messes around with counters or has evolved would be good. So we've got Steeple Rock, Mending Touch, so we can use this to regenerate target creature. Uncovered Clues, just rearrange that. So for this 2 and a blue, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 instant and or sorcery cards from among them and put the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Golgari Cluestone, so that fixes for black or green. Azorius Cluestone, same but for white or blue. Windrake, so this is a 2 and a blue for 2/2. Clear a path, destroy target creature with defender, that's in red. Fatal Fumes is in black. Weapon Surge. So moving on to our uncommons. Spike Jester. Protect and Serve, another fuse card. Turn and Burn. Okay, so we have a mythic here, Council of the Absolute. So that's 2 white blue. Creature, Human Advisor. As Council of the Absolute enters the battlefield, name a card other than a creature or land card. Your opponents can't cast cards with the chosen name. Spells with the chosen name you cast cost 2 less to cast. That's a 2/4. And our foil is Scanclad Giant. So this is 4 red-green for a 4/5. When Scab Clan Giant enters the battlefield, it fights target creature an opponent controls chosen at random. And being that we've got Dragon's Maze, in place of our land we have an Azorius Guildgate. And an advert for Magic 2014. So in that particular pack, 3 cards in colour were Windrake, Uncovered Clues and Mending Touch. On to our second pack. So our first common is one of the Gatekeeper cycle, Smelt Ward Gatekeepers. Another Steeple Rock. And another Mending Touch. And another Uncovered Clues. Interesting. Golgari Cluestone, so that fixes for black or green. And another Weapon Surge, so very similar to our other pack. Ceruli Gatekeepers, so this is Gatekeeper in green. 3 in a green for 2/4. When Ceruli Gatekeepers enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more gates, you gain 7 life. Murmuring Phantasm. This is a 0/5 defender for 1 and a blue that's already in the deck. Right Control. Punish the enemy. Another Spike Jester. So moving on to our uncommons. Haunter of the Night Vale. A fuse card in the form of Down and Dirty. So this is our rare, and it's green blue, 2 green, 2 blue. Plasm Capture. Counter target spell. At the beginning of your next pre-combat main phase, add X mana in any combination of colours to your mana pool, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. We've got a Boros Guildgate and a Soldier Totem. So in this one, slightly more cards that were on colour. Got Plasm Capture, Murmuring Phantasm, Ceruli Gatekeepers, Uncovered Clues and a Mending Touch again. And there we have it. There's the Dragon's Maze intro pack, the Simic Domination deck in green blue. Thanks for watching.